Oh, yo, yo. That was... Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to episode 5 of my Road to Bench World series. So first of all, I want to apologize for last week's video. I just rewatched it and it comes across as so complainy that it just made me cringe rewatching it. So I really dislike complaining, especially when it's something that I am very privileged to get to do and something that I am so grateful for. So apologies for that. This week will be far less complainy and much more positive, in part because obviously I dislike complaininess. And second of all, I have a lot to be happy about this week. So let's get into it. So my first bench session of the week, I worked up to a top single of 200 pounds. And then I did some back off sets. I did 4 sets of triples at 175 pounds and those all moved well. I did end up having to take a second bench day. Again, for the same reason as last time, I just didn't allow enough time to complete all of my sets. So I ended up having to come back a couple days later and I did sets of 5 at 145 pounds, 155 pounds, and 165 pounds. And those were longer pause benches. I think my program says either 2 count or 3 count. I'm not very good at timing my reps, so they were just paused benches, let's say. But those all moved well. It was nothing too heavy, nothing too taxing, and I still got all my work in, so that was fine. But this week and going forward, I will try to condense everything into one workout, but it just requires some advanced planning. That workout is going to obviously take longer than I'm used to. But so anyway, those both moved well. And then on Saturday, so as you know, if you've been following along in the series, I've had a couple of less than successful equipped bench sessions since nationals, let's put it that way. So a few weeks ago, I think it was my first time back in the shirt since nationals, I was feeling some clicks happening in my shoulders. My shoulder was not feeling great just doing board work. I think it was just even to a 2 board, I was like, ooh, that's not a normal good feeling. So we ended up having to call it early that day. And then 2 weeks ago, which was my last session in the shirt, oh, yo, yo. That was, did not feel good. That day, I still don't really know exactly what the issue was, but everything was off. My bar path was off. Everything felt bad. It just felt like it was my first day in the shirt. I didn't know what to do. And I ended up failing 125 kilos to the chest, just like giving up essentially. And yeah, that was a very discouraging day in the gym. Jason would say that the last 2 training sessions in my shirt were not bad days. They were not failures because I did learn something both times, but they were not successful. They didn't feel good. Just put it that way for, physical and emotional reasons. Boop. So this week, going into my equipped bench session, I don't know, I wasn't feeling overly optimistic, just given the last couple sessions. I was hopeful, and I was actually using my backup bench shirt. So I have a Super Katana, it's black, and it is a size up from my normal bench sizing. And then I have my blue Katana, which is my normal bench shirt. It's a lot tighter and I get more of a pop out of it, but the black shirt is a little bit looser. The chest plate's a bit looser. I've taken the sleeves in a bit. So I do get some pop out of it, just maybe not as much as a blue shirt, but it's easier to touch and a little bit gentler on my shoulder. And considering this was like my first, bench day after a couple of not so great bench days or not so successful bench days, I decided to use that shirt. So the morning of my equipped bench session, Jason woke up and he told me that I was going to bench 130 kilos that day. So I was a little bit less sure, but I was hopeful. I was optimistic. There's no need for the last workout to affect, the current workout, but it did have me a little bit shaken up. So I don't know. I was hopeful, but maybe not super optimistic. I don't know how to put it. So anyway, we got to the gym, I warmed up, I worked up to a top single at 92.5 kilos. So that was good. That's the most I've benched since Milan, so, which I guess wasn't that long ago, but it moved well. I kind of rushed the pause, but whatever, it was just a warm up. So I was happy with how that moved. And then we put the shirt on and we warmed up as we normally do with some board work. We started with a single to a 2 board, then a triple to a 2 board, then a double to a 1 board, then a single to a half board, and then we started the touches. So the first touch was at 120 kilos, and it moved okay. The second touch was to 125 kilos, and that similarly moved okay. And then my last single, that was 130 kilos. And I think, looking back at the video, I think it moved the best out of all of them. I don't know if it felt that way in real time, like it felt fine, but the video just moved smoothly and quickly. So that was awesome. And in my, looser fitting shirt, like extra awesome. Like I think we're back on track. My 30 temp at nationals was 127.5 kilos. So this was 130 kilos. So 2.5 kilos more. I think it moved better. And it feels really good to have had a successful shirted bench day finally after like a couple of rough weeks. So I was happy with how that workout went. I'm feeling a lot more optimistic now leading into Worlds. I think we have like 6 training weeks, like 6 full weeks, and then a taper. So that means like 6 more shirted bench sessions leading into Worlds. So, time's ticking, but I think things are starting to come together. The momentum hopefully is starting to build, and yeah, I'm feeling good. One other thing I'm feeling really good about is this shoulder. This shoulder is finally, I don't want to celebrate too early, but it's feeling okay. I'm able to self-unrack now without pain. I can bench, and my only thought isn't, am I gonna hurt my shoulder? It's like I can actually focus on the lift and the press again, which is like, I missed it, but it sounds horrible. Like it just sucks that I lost all that time, worrying about this injury. So hopefully that continues. I think especially if I can condense my bench workouts into one day, like my raw bench work into one day, and give myself that longer recovery time between workouts. Hopefully this continues and, heals and gets a little bit stronger still, but I'm happy with where that's at right now. I'm just happy. Everything is sort of starting to fall into place. I feel like things are, progressing well. Things are starting to click. So yeah, so I think we're in a good place leading into Worlds, and I'm very excited to see where the next few weeks take me. Anyway, that's the update for this week. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you would like to see more, and I will see you all next week. Bye. Hello, my name is Pippi.